Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to another video on the channel. As always, thanks for joining me. You know it's massively appreciated. Make sure you do all the good stuff to help support me and my channel by hitting that lovely thumbs up. Get involved in the comments, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell, and you'll never miss anything to do like this. Another little experiment where I've plunked two teams in a completely random foreign league. I've made a couple of videos recently. You may have seen them. And the last one didn't go how I thought it'd go. So Boca Juniors, we had Flamengo, we had Ajax and Galatasaray all put in the Premier League, and we're all pretty rubbish, to be fair. Boca Juniors in particular finished in 2050 in League One, and it was a bit of a disaster. Although I have done another video where I put Rangers and Celtic in the Premier League, and they both did okay. Rangers especially had a late bloom. So I thought, instead of taking Rangers and Celtic out, that's what everyone always talks about, why not put teams in to Scotland? Now, because Boca Juniors were so appalling in England, I thought, let's give them another go. But as we all know, Rangers and Celtic, probably one of the biggest rivalries in world football, maybe need another rivalry. So I decided to put Boca Juniors' arch rival River Plate, the millionaires, in there as well. Will they fare any better in Scotland? Will it disrupt Scotland? Will they take it over? Will they crash and burn? Will it affect the two big Scottish teams? Well, we have all of that, nearly, maybe. Let's find out. We're going to start here on the 3rd of July 2023, at the very beginning of FM24. And just like in previous videos, I've moved the two teams into a brand new league. And here we are with the season odds for the very first season. Now, if you go into the editor, each team has a reputation. Like Man City is about 9,000. Celtic and Rangers are around the same, the late 6,000s. Boca and River are in the 7,000s, so they're already starting with a higher rep, which might give them a slight advantage at the very beginning. Now, finances-wise, Celtic have got a good chunk of money, probably from the Champions League. Rangers are all right. Boca and River were all right. So I've given them a fair start. Everyone's got 50 million to spend, but they've obviously got big stadiums, and they should be able to generate money. Now, in the previous video, people were talking about work permits. Now, that doesn't matter. There's no work permit difference between Boca and Celtic, because Boca are now a Scottish team. The stadium's just based in Argentina. But when it comes to them being a club, they're a Scottish club. When it comes to European football, they will be playing in European football. So that shouldn't matter. But I'm interested because I thought Boca would do all right, but I thought Ajax and Galatasaray would do all right, and they all did average, really. Not one team finished it in the Premier League. So what will happen here? I was really excited to see. Of course, we've got Rangers, and we'll be looking at the two Glasgow clubs. I think we've got to. We have a fantastic history. Many league titles, cups, and so forth. I mean, it is mad seeing the Championship and League One and League Two trophies on there. But don't forget, they did get relegated when all the finances went to shit. And of course, Celtic. Will they dominate? Can they fend off Boca River? Will Rangers still compete? Honestly, I don't know why, but I was quite excited about this one, probably more than a Premier League version. And of course, they've got a fantastic history. No lower level trophies. I'm sure they're happy with that. And of course, that very, very famous Champions League trophy. First up from our Argentinian invasion, we have Boca Juniors, a favourite club of mine. I do like Boca. I did a series, as I've spoken about many times. You've probably seen it. Who's Boca Boys? Got a Boca Juniors topless just there. I nearly wore it, but it didn't bring me any luck last time, did it? They were the worst team, to be fair, but a fantastic club. And just like on the previous one, it's wiped the history. I've not wiped it. It's wiped their history clean, apart from the Intercontinental Champions Clubs Cup, which should make it easy to follow them if they do manage to win anything. And last but not least, we've got their rivals. We've got the Super Classical Derby in Scotland. How cool is that? Although it won't be in Scotland, it'll be in Argentina. But it's technically Scotland, you know what I mean. River Plate, a favourite team of a very good friend of mine, Greeno. We did a head-to-head. When Greeno came to visit, we did a head-to-head. I was Boca Juniors, he was River Plate. And I very, very famously whooped his ass. I schooled him in Football Manager and sent River Plate packing. How will River Plate do in Scotland? Now, I don't know why. It wipes out league history and all that stuff, but it's kept them three. I don't know why it does that. When I used Flamengo, Brazilian team, it didn't wipe their history, their Brazilian history. But anyway, can they add to that? Now, quickly want to look at each club's facilities. I don't know if I'm going to be able to track this, But as we know, they've all got good stadiums. Celtic Park's 60,000 capacity, all-seater, top corporate, excellent training, great youth facilities. Rangers are Ibrox, again, great stadium. It's was it designed by the same person who designed Villa Park? And I love that structure of it. I love the look of it, me. 51,000 all-seater, lacking a bit behind Celtic, but top corporate, excellent training, great youth facilities. I'm not going to lie, it's one of my favourite stadiums ever. I know it's old, but I love its colour, I love its design, I love that stand that's got straight up. It looks like a block of flats, although if you watch my Boots Boca series, you'll see there are plans eventually to expand it, which would be quite sad, but I suppose quite cool. But that is big. It's 54,000 capacity, only 23,000 seats, average corporate, excellent training, great youth. Then we've got the Millionaires. That's what they call them because they moved to the richer part of town, and they play the Mas Monumental, which is an 83,000 capacity, 57,000 seats. Is that going to play into their hands? I mean, that many fans. They pack it out, they might make some more money. I'll have to wait and see. I think European football is going to play a big part in this as well. But they have average corporate, excellent training, excellent youth. Quite exciting this, isn't it? I hope you're excited. I hope you're still watching anyway. So let's jump forward. We're going to go 5 years in this one and just see the initial lay of the land. So here we are now. It's the 1st of July, 2028, and we can see the title holders is River. So already we've got an Argentinian winner. Let's have a look. So Celtic won the first 4 and River have just won the title with Celtic as runners-up. Rangers have been runners-up a couple of times. Boca have had 1 second place, 3rd place. So it is between all the major 4 teams. But yeah, Boca already lacking a little bit. Rangers haven't won a title though. Is it going to be Celtic River battling it out? What about the Cup? So we'll start with the League Cup. And Celtic have won 4. Boca have won 1. So they've got a trophy. That's brilliant. River runner-up a couple of times. Boca runner-up. No Rangers. But if we move to the Scottish Cup, we'll see that Rangers have just won it, beating River. Boca have got 1. Celtic have got 1. River have got 1. Is this how it's going to be, all 4 of them? Be a bit more of an exciting league, if that's the case. Hopefully some of the other teams can pick up from this as well. The Rangers still have the same manager and haven't improved Ibrox at all. I'm hoping for more from Rangers. Celtic, I've still got Brendan Rodgers. Fair play. He's won quite a lot though, hasn't he, to be fair. Celtic going to dominate. I've got a feeling they might. I generally don't know. I've holidayed from this part. I did want to jump in at 10 years. I save it every fight at the beginning and then just leave it, and I left it running too long. So I just thought, sod it, let's go all the way to 2050. But Celtic Park's still the same size. Boca still got the same manager, same size stadium. Come on, Boca. Don't let me down again. They were terrible, honestly, in that last one. Terrible. And of course, River Plate. To be fair, I don't like the home kit. Greeno loves that red stripe thing. I think it's terrible. But I do like that away kit. I'd have that. I wouldn't say no to that. So these are the current odds for the 6th season. Celtic are favourites, Boca 2nd, Rangers River, which is quite cool. So we're going to jump forward to 2050 and have a good look how it all panned out. We'll see who won the most trophies, who spent the most to do that, and who's the most successful. Now I don't know, so I'm just going to do it I think I might just do it Rangers, Celtic, Boca, River, and we'll go through it bit by bit. So it is now the 1st of July 2050, and what I want to do, because I don't want to spoil it for myself, is we'll have a look at each team, we'll have a look at the graph to see where they've been in the league for the last few years, and then I'll count up all the trophies and go through it so I can reveal them all to you with a nice little graphic I've made. But Rangers are in the Premiership, what you expect them to be. And then I click on this page. Wow. Now it only goes back to 2030, but I did not expect to see that at the end. So they've been a bit of a seesaw zigzag team over the last few years, and then found themselves getting relegated. I think you would have seen that normally. So maybe having these other big rivals in the league has obviously affected them, because, well, they haven't won a title since 2030 anyway. Then they finished 7th, 2nd, and they've just won the championship. So they've only just got back to the Premier League, Premiership, whatever you want to call it. Wow. Bit of a come down from when they were in England with all that Premier League money. Next up, it's Celtic, who are in the Premiership. What have they done to Rangers? Have Boca and River ruined the Glasgow team? Well, no. Obviously, it goes back to 2030. Which makes this interesting really now, because they've won a couple of titles. You can see back to back there. But back-to-back there, won it there, and then finished 7th this year. They've been up and down a bit, but there's a lot of gaps there, isn't there? Are they the Argentinian teams winning it? Or other teams? That'd be quite cool if Hibs or Aberdeen could do it. On to Boca Juniors, who failed miserably in England. They were absolutely pants. Well, they're in the Premiership. They managed to pick up any of them titles that are missing. Ooh, I like to see that. I like to see it a lot. Look at that. Look at that domination there. Boca Juniors. Scotland's where you need to be. Forget England. Oh, I'm well happy with that. Ooh, Greeno. You won't be happy with that, will you, mate? You will not be happy with that. We find Club Atletico River Plate in the Championship. And again, it only goes back to 2030. So, you know, a couple of years since the gap we didn't see, because only went 5 years into the future, remember. But they crashed and burned here. Got relegated 5th. Won the Championship, spent a few seasons back at the top, got relegated again, quite a few years, being here, there and bloody everywhere, got promoted by winning the Championship, relegated, and I've just finished 5th in the Championship. Wow, so it's worked for one, not the other. I'm guessing you get into a European and you go on a roll, you get that European money, which you'll need in Scotland because there's not a lot of money in Scotland. You don't get that big Premier League money. And that can help you, and maybe River just didn't do it. Anything can happen on these simulations. You could run it again and be completely different. Only ever do it once, and that's fair. Well, just like Rangers and River are lacking behind Celtic and Boca. So I'm going to go through them all, show you a graphic, and then we'll have a look ourselves. Because I'm not going to class championships. I'm just going to class any European trophies if they've managed it, or the 3 main ones in Scotland, the League Cup, the FA Cup, or the League. So here we are then. We've got Rangers, Celtic, Boca Juniors and River. Now I've gone through every competition, not championships. Like I said, just League Cup, FA Cup, Premiership or European trophies. Tally them all together and we'll see who's come out on the trophy list. Starting with Rangers, who over the last 27 years only managed to win 1 trophy. And it was Celtic, who obviously have done well. They managed to win 18 trophies. And of course, Boca Juniors, we knew they went on that great run in the league. They got 28. So I think they probably won the trophy run. And then River, although they've been in the Championship for quite a bit, managed 5. River have won more trophies than Rangers. So let's take a look at the League Cup. We know the first 5 winners, but let's go up slowly. Hearts, River, Boca, Aberdeen. I like it. So it's a good mix there. Got Motherwell in there, Hearts a couple of times, Hibs, Queen's Park, Partick Thistle, Dundee United. I like it. And Celtic won the last one. To the Scottish Cup. Again, we saw the first 5 winners. Everyone managed to get one, including Aberdeen. What about the next few years? I imagine Boca won a few of these. Ross County, Aberdeen. It's good to see that other Scottish teams have got in the trophies. Like Celtic haven't dominated it. Obviously, Rangers definitely haven't. But yeah, Hearts have done really well in the Cups. And of course, on to the league. And when we last saw this, and I saw River had won it, I thought River were going to get that one step ahead of Boca. Be in the Champions League, they could get that money, maybe go on that roll. But it just didn't work out for him, did it? Crack on, Celtic, and then Boca won a couple, Celtic won a couple. Where's Boca's mega run? There it is. Look at that. Wow, nearly 10 years on the bounce doing a Celtic or a Rangers there. And then Celtic came back with a couple. Hearts won 1. But that is mint. I mean, I've got no affiliation with Hearts, but just to see someone outside of the main 4 win it, I think it's brilliant. Boca came back with 2, Celtic, and then Boca have just retained it in Hibs. Are in and about it recently. Because Rangers have fell off a cliff and River are in the Championship. So these are the odds, and Boca are favourites. Partick Thistle are above Celtic in 2050. Hibs, Aberdeen, Hearts. Rangers are favourites to get relegated. That is insane. It's insane. Now, if you're wondering, there's no European trophies, and no team never got to a final, not in any of them. I suppose nowadays the new format, to get into the Champions League, there's no way of coming down a step. But no one won anything, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, wow. Boca have made amends to me. I'm forgiving them for this. They've done really well. But I won't show you now because I've added it all up. Who spent the most? How much did it cost? Boca spent a fortune on Celtic. Rangers spent a fortune. I'm guessing with Boca and Celtic being up there, they've had more money, haven't they? And they've been able to build on that. And with Rangers not maybe being in Champions League, they've struggled. River fell off. Finances probably went to shit. So again, here we are with Rangers, Celtic, Boca Juniors, and River Plate. So Rangers, who, you know, I'd say have come third in this little experiment. Over the last 27 years, spent 134 million. Celtic, who I reckon are runners up, I think that's fair to say. They've done very well. But Boca have probably picked them to the post with 10 extra trophies. Celtic spent 321 million. Boca Juniors, who obviously had that great dominance in the league, picked up quite a few cups, definitely won it. And I'm not being biased, I think they definitely won it. Didn't spend too much more than Celtic. I think you can tell them to have been in the Champions League. They spent 327 million. But then River, who I know have spent time in the Championship, but it's definitely hurt them, have only spent in the last 27 years 89 million. So there was no tycoon takeovers for any of these clubs. It just stayed as they are. Obviously a few new chairpersons, as the game likes to call them these days, for Rangers. Celtic only had a couple of changes at the top. This is where it gets quite interesting, because Boca actually struggled a few times and have pulled themselves out of it. They went into administration in 2026, came out of it a year later, and then obviously that they built on that, did really, really well, and went back into administration in 2042, came out of it the same year, chairman's left, but they've still managed to compete, which is fantastic. River, on the other hand, have struggled. They started out really well, won a couple of cups, won the league, which is great, so they actually got a league title. I don't think Rangers have won one, have they? That's crazy. Went into administration in 2033, came out of it, went back into it in 2039, came out of it. So they've had a couple of administrations as well. They just, once you get in the Championship, this isn't England, is it? The money isn't great in Scotland. You've got to like, get out European football and build on it. Celtic have continued to be Celtic. Obviously had a lot of it took away from them from Boca. Boca done really well somehow, even though they've had a couple of stints in administration. I'm probably shocked with Rangers, but like I said, anything could happen. Anything can happen. It's just a simulation. You know, it's a lot of years you go through. Things can change. You could run it again, and a different manager comes in, or a different owner, or they do get a tycoon takeover. So it's still fun to see. They definitely fared better in Scotland than they would in England. Thought we'd look at each team's best 11 and just maybe highlight their best striker over this last 27-year period. Starting with Rangers and John Cowie. He's still playing, he's 33, now plays for Kilmarnock. There though. This is Celtic's best ever 11 and their number one striker. Fair play. I can't show him yet because he's real. So no one ever betted him and he's disappeared. It's Ivan Toney. Look at that. Nearly a goal every other game. Boca Juniors have been an absolute team and a half. Let's have a look. So their number one striker scored 188 goals in 361 games. Is Taras Mel. I can't say that name. Ukrainian. He is now retired, 39 years old. So I don't know what he looked like as a player. But I imagine he was decent because they won a lot of titles, didn't they? Especially while he was there. Last but not least, River, who I am quite shocked about because it's still a massive club. Biggest stadium. I thought they had the advantage, you know. Highest rep. Big stadium. Biggest stadium by far. It just didn't work out for him, did it? But yeah, Jack Butland, I've noticed. Their best striker was Liam Reid, who's 34, now plays for Ayr United. I love Ayr United. He actually played for Ayr United. Looks like he went to River, was there for quite a few years, has become their number one star, and now gone back to Ayr to finish his career. So if River got a chance in an imaginary world in another universe to get out of this league, well, they are third favourites to get promoted to the Premiership. But I really enjoyed that, you know, looking at that. I just think it was different. Someone kind of mentioned you maybe should put teams in Scotland instead. But what a great idea. So I'll give Boca another chance, give them their rival, have two great rivalries. You never know how it's going to work out, do you? But yeah, really pleased because I am a bit of a Boca fan. Quite cool to see them come out on top. But I would love to know what you think. So there we go. That is the end of the video. They're really easy and simple to make. It's just a bit of fun. I just like playing with the editor and seeing what random things happen. But if you did enjoy it, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, get involved in the comments, subscribe if you're new. Hit that bell, you'll never miss anything I do. If you haven't seen any of the other experiment ones I've done recently like this, go and check them out. They're all quite good, I think. I'm currently doing a series with Birmingham City called Peaky Buddhas. We're coming up to episode 8. That's going to be the last episode. And then I might have a new Let's Play coming out before I go away to France. A real challenge with a club some of you may never have heard of. We've got this really ancient history. And I'm going to try and bring them back. It's going to be called, I'll give you a hint, The Hunt for 8. Yeah, should be great. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Now, if you want to try this out, let me know. I've not sorted it out yet, and it might not be sorted by the time the video comes out, but let me know in the comments of the video or what if you want to give it a go for yourself, and I'll get the save file sorted, and I'll let you know when I've put it into the description to download. But yeah, thank you for taking time out your day to stay with me and watch some absolute nonsense like this. It's always appreciated, so I hope you're happy. I hope you're safe, and don't go missing. I love you long time. I'm Bood. Bye-bye.